G'day everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse, Tackle Marks Point, with this Friday's fishing report up here at Swansea Heads Marine Rescue Base, just in front of me here, and of course Moon Island behind. As we've seen as we're coming up, a lot of whale action happening off the coast here at the moment. It's something to be mindful of, guys, when you are heading offshore this weekend. The whales are certainly migrating up to the north, but there's going to be a lot of them over the next few months. Have to consider that if you're getting out really early or coming back after dark. Got a full moon coming through on Sunday night this week, so things are looking quite good, and we've really got some great tides. 7:30 high tide tomorrow morning with a 1 o'clock afternoon low tide. So tomorrow afternoon and even this afternoon, as you can see behind me here, absolutely perfect. We're going to see maybe a few showers into Sunday as that wind does go around to the east southeast and some rain next week. But I've got to say, this afternoon and tomorrow are perfect, 24 degrees, fantastic. Out on the shelf, a lot of guys asking me, are the yellowfin out on the shelf yet? Water temperature 19.6 degrees, so the temperature's great for that, and very little current. Looked on the sea surface chart this morning, in and around about mid canyons towards the southerns, and only over the edge, 150, 200 fathoms, no current. 0.1 to 0.3 of a knot of current. It is just doing nothing. And at 19.6, I think that is the best opportunity we've had to go and have a look and see if there are a few yellowfin out there. Back on the farm and down towards the Texas, guys are doing a little bit tough on kingies at the moment at the Texas, working hard for what they're catching. There are a few reds down there as well, but I just think the inshore reefs is where we want to be, particularly with this tide of an afternoon. Plenty of trag coastal. There's a lot of trag up off Newcastle, certainly Bar Beach north, up Stockton Bight, and definitely up towards Port Stephens. Seeing big numbers of trag. There's trag all the way down to Wyabung. I know Alex ducked down there last Saturday afternoon and got some beautiful trag, but moved off the trag later on and got some really nice reds. So we're starting to see this increase in snapper on the coast. The main reason I feel is temperature now on the basically on the inshore reefs 18.9 to 19, so the temperature's really come off. So trag, reds, still a lot of big bonito around, and surprisingly enough with this water temp coming off, we're still getting long tail tuna along our part of the coastline. So definitely Catherine Hill Bay on some of the ledges down there are still producing them, but along our inshore reefs, Dudley, Redhead and up towards Merriweather, if you're prepared to put a live bait out while you're burleying through and a good pilchard burley trail, you will still pick up a few longtails. Starting to see a few brim and tarwine, particularly up at the fruit shed as well. So we're starting to see this inshore fishery come alive as this water temperature comes off. Salmon, starting to see salmon on the beaches, but the reports this week have been big tailer right along most of the beaches. Certainly Stockton Beach, salmon, very small salmon I might add, only fish probably 45, 50 centimetres, but a big assortment of tailor there, but some big tailor up here on the Blacksmiths Belmont stretch. And again, tomorrow afternoon, the perfect opportunity to get out there and have a bit of a dig. If you're going to go off the rocks, guys, you can see the swell behind me now has minimalised, so that nice tide tomorrow afternoon or even early in the morning if you want to throw a few lures and get down there for some of those big tail off the rocks, but big numbers of luderick getting around, drummer, and what we talked about a week or so ago, these inshore snapper, a great chance to sort of get down there and have a bit of a go. A few groper, I suppose, when you really think about it, but probably not a big target species nowadays, but we're really seeing improvement on the rocks. Had a bit of a go on the estuary there Sunday afternoon. I caught a couple of salmon to my surprise, just out of nowhere. One small one and one very big fish, probably would have been a good 3.5 kilo. So these salmon are definitely mixed in with these bait schools, but the bait has really split up. And I'm hearing reports of bait fishing birds all the way down to Chain Valley Bay, and even yesterday, right the way from Valentine up into Warners Bay. So the bait is southern and northern ends, but right out through the middle as well. Coley, Fishing Point, around the corner, down towards Myuna Bay. That bait has really spread itself through, but still big numbers of tailor and a lot of reports of these small jewfish. I spoke to Wayne Salmon there yesterday. A couple of small fish in and around that 45 to 55. We spoke about this, so we're starting to see a lot of these smaller jew right throughout the lake. There are some better ones amongst them, but it's great to see that, and particularly that northern in the lake at the moment in patches, top to bottom bait schools, and a lot of tailor moving through them. So it's, again, this weekend is just going to be perfect, particularly tomorrow, to get out there. Few kingies still around, of course. And look, if you're going to tackle some of those brim, some very good brim around, and that evening fishery is really where you want to be. And trying to use, guys, these oily based baits is going to be proving to be the pick of it. Flathead, they are still in very good numbers, but those flathead numbers will certainly increase. And I do see the reports that some guys do struggle and some guys are really donging them. You know, I seen a beautiful photograph just come through from Wayne Flanagan only just moments ago. A cracking snapper he caught out there this morning. So again, these reds are spread right throughout the lake in amongst these schools, but you've just got to move around. Just because you're not catching flathead, say at Toronto, doesn't mean you're not going to necessarily catch them around the back of Sunken Rock at Pulba. You have to be able to move around. But the fishing is looking good, even down here in Lucy's. A good report today. Some very big luderick there at the present. Fish up to around about 44 centimetres, and the occasional bigger fish. So a lot of these big luderick, now that they've been schooling up on the rocks, are moving in and coming into the estuary. No big salmon schools in the channel yet, but it mustn't be too far away, because this sporadic appearance that they're making in the lake and definitely on our beaches, it's starting to sort of piece itself together. But I reckon this weekend is going to be perfect. Wind tomorrow under 10 knots in the prediction, and a little bit of north-northwest swinging around to a very gentle east-southwest. So I think it's a cracking opportunity to get out there. Now, with this in mind, we're going to keep every Friday, we're going to put these little packs together. We've organised an estuary pack. So this is a great estuary pack to get you out there. Obviously Shimano Lure Wallet here, but we've got a real assortment here, guys. We've got divers, we've got Samaki vibes, we've certainly got Eco Gear blades, jig heads, squidgies, metals for Taylor. They even got a few of these shimmer prawns as well. That pack alone, almost $200 worth of value, $90. So $90 packs for our estuary guys for this weekend. Guys, let's get out there. Let's have a bit of a look. You can see me here before, and let's hope those whales that we were watching before are still jumping as I'm doing this report. I'll see you next Friday when I will be celebrating my 59th birthday. I'll see you then.